Hi, I got invited to review this weird looking gadget. It's called the Traxshot. I'll keep watching to find out what it is and if it's any good. So the other day I got an email out of the blue from the Amazon UK marketing team for Comica. Would I like to test and review their new product, the Traxshot, they said. Well, I had to do a bit of research to find out what it was, but then I said, sure, why not? Okay, they said, we need a 5-star review with product videos and we need you to buy it from Amazon so that it's a verified purchase. Don't worry, they said, we'll refund your purchase price half when you show us you bought the product and half when you post your review. Well, okay, I said, but I can't promise you a 5-star review. It might not be any good. But I did agree to buy it and try it, and if I think it deserves 5 or 4 stars, and I'll post a review. And if I don't think it deserves that, I won't post it, or maybe I'll just eat the loss and lose half my money. They agreed, so I ordered it, and here it is. So, what actually is it? When you're shooting video, you also have to think about sound. In fact, really good clear sound is often more important than the pictures. Ideally, you'd have a tame sound recordist with a bag full of kit and boom mics and radio lav packs who tag along with you, making sure that the dialogue is crisp and clear and that ambient sounds are mixed in at an appropriate level. Sometimes though, like when vlogging or maybe when we don't want to intimidate people with lots of posh gear, we're just not working with that amount of kit. We'll probably be using a little DSLR or mirrorless camera like this because it's much smaller, much lighter, much easier to carry around. We still need to capture nice clear sound though, so often we use microphones like this one on top of the camera. And this works well for capturing ambient sound, and as long as the person talking is close to the camera, it works okay for speech too. Why not use the camera's built-in mic? Because it's rubbish. Because there's nothing directional about it, so it isn't picking up sound specifically from the front of the camera, but mainly because there's no way of fitting any wind protection. So as soon as you step outdoors somewhere, you're probably going to have lots of wind noise and nobody will be able to hear a word you're saying. I say, they won't be able to hear a word you're saying. So it turns out that the Comica Traxshot is a camera top mini shotgun microphone designed to go on a DSLR or mirrorless type camera or to be used with a phone. So why so weird looking? Because it's actually got 2 shotgun microphone capsules which you can swivel. It comes in this lovely smart white box. Inside we find this rather nice semi-hard zip-up case. Very swish. It comes with patch leads for cameras and for phones, and it has a built-in lithium battery that recharges via the USB-C port. And when you've grown out of the excitement of unboxing, how does it work? Well, it's nicely built with what seems like an anodized cast aluminium casing. The unique selling point though is the 2 shotgun capsules. You can have them pointing forward and parallel so that it functions like any other short mini shotgun mic. Or you can open them out to an angle and capture a stereo sound image. There's even a choice of angles. Or you can point one capsule forwards and one back. So when you're doing impromptu, informal vlog style interviews, you can hear your own side of the conversation as well as the person in front of the camera. Nice! There's this gain control dial. Remember actual knobs and dials? So much nicer than menu diving. And the microphone can deliver a thumping great output level, so you don't have to drive your camera's own preamps hard to get a decent level set. Small cameras often have rather noisy preamps. It would be nice if you could adjust the gain of the left and right capsules independently though. Because if you find yourself actually doing this kind of impromptu vlog style interview, the chances are you're going to be much closer to the camera and therefore the microphone than your victim, than your interviewee is.
You may be too loud and they may be too quiet. Unfortunately, not many DSLR type cameras allow you to set recording levels independently either. but with the microphone's own preamp being fairly quiet, you can probably set the level for a quieter channel and balance up in post, and that's what it says on here.
That's what I wrote.
Yeah, excellent.
And speaking of post, when you watch the raw video from the camera when the mic's set up this way in interview mode, it sounds odd. You are going to have to put this through some editing software to make it sound right, or the person in front of the camera sounds as if they're way off to the right, and you behind will sound as if you're somewhere over on the far left. One more go, just for safety?
Yeah, of course. Getting there.
Good. But to be fair, there's no other way for this microphone to function if it's going to deliver two fully independent channels of sound into a single stereo input for a DSLR type camera. There is a headphone socket, so you can monitor the sound you're capturing via headphones. Useful if, like many cameras, yours doesn't have a headphone output. But you can't control the volume you get, and it's kind of low, so you might struggle to hear it in noisy conditions. On the bottom of the mic is a cold shoe fitting. Clearly this mic is intended to live on top of a camera. There's also a 1/4-inch screw socket there, so there are other mounting options, as you'll see in a moment. The little colour screen is really bright and clear. You toggle between the different angled modes here. As far as I can tell though, the only difference is that the mode for the two capsules parallel outputs a mono signal, while all the others deliver left capsule to the left channel and right to the right. There's also a bass cut option, which I guess is to help cut down on wind noise. Doesn't really help much though. There is some built-in suspension via these rubbery links, and they seem to work pretty well. And the mic comes with these tiny furry windscreens. That's great because shotguns are particularly susceptible to wind noise, and that can be a big problem when you're shooting outdoors. But these windscreens don't offer much wind protection, almost none in fact. So I've come up here to the edge of the North York Moors, and the sound you're hearing now is from the Traxshot with its little furry dead cats on. I suspect there's not enough wind protection to render this sound usable. What you're hearing now is the sound from my Rode NTG2 on the top of my big camera, and that's got a Rode softy on it. And I suspect the sound from that isn't very nice either for wind noise. And now you should be hearing a lav mic that I've hidden inside my scarf and jacket, and in fact that's got its own little wind muff on as well, and hopefully that is at least vaguely usable. But the point I'm making here is the wind protection on the Traxshot isn't great. It can't cope with this situation. You can see my hair blowing. It's not blowing a gale, it's just the kind of breeze you'd expect in a place like this. But then again, the NTG2 and the softy can't cope either. The only thing that will really help in a situation like this is either a lav hidden away inside layers of clothing, which comes with problems of its own, or else a shotgun microphone inside one of those big blimps and dead cats, and maybe some extra wind protection inside that as well. Third-party windscreens? That would be nice. The ones that are effective have a layer of open cell foam as well as the dense fur. But because the two shotgun capsules are so close together on the top of this mic, it's hard to see how you could make effective windscreens that would fit while still allowing that parallel, straightforward position. Sound quality? Well, it's no Sennheiser 418 or Sanken CSR2. You're listening to it right now, boomed overhead, just out of shot, at about the same distance it would be if I was using it vlog style at arm's length. And there's no EQ or other treatment here. You probably noticed the change in sound quality when I switched to it from my Rode NTG2. At least for my voice, in my admittedly far from acoustically perfect workroom, it sounds, okay. Maybe that's an unfair comparison. Perhaps it would be more reasonable to compare it with my Rode VideoMic Pro, through which you're listening to my dulcet tones now. And now here we are again on the Traxshot. While boating, Miss Pamela Hunt once swam in the nude for a stunt. She got out much sooner when she heard Dr. Spooner say, "I can see cameras." After I'd written and filmed this, I got a chance to use the microphone in anger on a job, and I formed a different impression of how it sounds in the field in places other than my little office. Here's an example.
I mean, we love a musical, not gonna lie.
Yeah, for example, in this programme we also played some musical tunes and some jazz numbers, so real mixture. If they recognise a song as well, you just see their face light up and
Yeah.
they're humming along, or if they're brave, they'll be singing along, and yeah, really nice.
I particularly liked Fever.
Yes! I like that
Flitz
one.
moments.
That's
That
my
one.
moment. Yeah.
So now I'm thinking that I didn't like it because it was my voice in a small resonant boxy room being recorded on a shotgun microphone, and that's never going to work well. In a larger space and with different voices, it sounds better. It's up to you to make your own mind up from what you've heard here. Okay, so it sells for £169 or so. It will get you clear sound in a variety of circumstances, as long as you're indoors and you're not too fussy about quality. And if you're shooting material that'll all be watched on phones and tablets, you might well not be. So, 5 stars? Well, if you see yourself ever doing those vlog-style interviews where you don't have the time or the kit to take a more involved approach to your sound, that fore and aft mic mode is really handy. It's well built, and the case is nice. It's good to have a real knob to infinitely adjust the gain, and the output is beefy. But independent gain controls, or at least an option in the firmware to have the forward capsule set 3 or 6 dB higher than the rearward one, would have been nice. And it would be good to have better and adjustable headphone volume. And given the width of the main part of the casing, the capsules could have been mounted further apart, leaving room to fit more effective wind protection when the tubes are side by side. As it is, the mic is pretty much unusable outdoors. And finally, the sound quality. Personally, indoors, where the microphone is going to get most use, I don't care for it, but a bit of EQ in post can improve it quite a lot. Maybe I'm spoiled. It is a huge improvement over just using most cameras' built-in mics. But I'm afraid for the lack of wind protection and for missed opportunities to make it much more usable at little if any extra cost, it loses a star. But only one. So 4 stars. Sorry, Comica. But if you're thinking of doing a Mark II with improvements, do drop me a line.